to George. Launches a three. And it's George again missing.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Green kicks to Splitter. That's good. Leonard's got the lead up to 4 now for San Antonio. And Parker Clark, a 6-time All-Star, 3-time NBA champion, heavily decorated player.
Yeah, he really is, and he's shooting to become the Spurs' first 20-year guy. Now, how crazy would that be? I mean, he came to the Spurs in 19, so he's got an outside chance at it. He said his body feels great.
Yep.
The way Pop manages minutes for his guys, he thinks he can play at a high level for a long time. That'll be fun to watch to see if it happens that way.
Good story, you're right.
Yeah.
Donald Sloan's checked in for C.J. Miles. The shot by George, wide open. Cans it from downtown. George has got 9 points.
It was a slow start for him, but he started to take off since we hit the second quarter, guys.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Paul George in the first year of a 5-year max-level contract extension. Boy, those are big words and mean a lot. We talked about earlier his name on the marquee and how it's big and bright. You know, his play last season left no question in a lot of people's mind that he's worth every dollar.
Yeah, there are only about a dozen or so guys that are worthy of max contracts, in my opinion. He's clearly one because he's gotten better every season. He hungers to be great, and he's a tremendous two-way player, potentially a guy who could be Defensive Player of the Year at some point in his career.
Mahinmi's checked in for the Pacers. The Spurs also changing it up. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Ginobili comes in for Daniel Green. And it's Mills in for Parker. Stolen. Pacers trailed by 3.
And you look at Paul George, I think that LeBron James, he might be the top two-way perimeter player in the league.
1:44 left in the first half of the game. And now the fast break. George with the ball. And the 3 off target.
Paul George is a phenomenal athlete, folks. I mean, he does stuff that should look hard and makes it look easy. Never takes a play off defensively and still has the energy to carry the offensive load that he does. That attribute is so underrated. There are very few players that are able to do it the way PG does. And it really is one of the marks of greatness, and he's headed in that direction.
Now let's send it to Doris on the sideline.
Well, Kevin, the Spurs, not necessarily a glamour franchise, but maybe the NBA's model franchise. The longest streak of 50-win seasons in league history, 5 championships, and a litany of former Spurs working as head coaches and GMs around the league. Tim Duncan said people aren't envious of their image, but they're envious of how they run things. They get it done, Kevin.
They sure do. An incredible run. Thanks, Doris.
How about that? They respond to a three-pointer with a quick 3 of their own.
Yeah, terrific. Great back-and-forth sequence right there.
Now, here is George. 16 points for him.
He is bombing it today. How many more threes are we going to see from him?
Well, we've already seen plenty. The majority of his points have come on that shot.
This game's going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that and give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
Look how frustrated Steve is over
Well, I just, you know what, Kevin?
disgusting.
Come on, Kevin. I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up there. I mean, he threw it down with force.
It's a tie game in Indiana. And we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball. The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. You look at Paul George in this game, guys. He's been everywhere.
Boy, you wonder how long he can continue to shoot the three ball as well as he has to this point. He's been lights out.
Steve, you know that as well as anyone, being the shooter you were. Sometimes you have those nights where the bucket looks 3 feet wide.
Here's who Greg Popovich is starting in the second half. Harper and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. Leonard and Duncan are the pair at forward. And it's Splitter in at the 5, roaming the paint.
Not what they drew up, but they'll take the 2 points. Well, for Paul George, his leap last season, not just about accentuating his strengths, but also cutting back on the negative plays, in particular, and lowering his fouls and turnovers while he was on the floor.
Leonard brings the double team. Hill kicks to Miles. Outside, George. Here's Hibbert. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass. And the Pacers lead by 1.
Another lead change. How many of these are we going to have?
I don't know, Steve, but the momentum of this game has certainly swung like a pendulum.
Here is Splitter. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. And yep, that's going to be a flagrant foul. Unnecessary contact.
And a lot of contact right there. I think the officials are making the correct call here. And this sort of call, of course, always about protecting the players. You can't allow unnecessary contact, and sometimes the players let the emotion get the best of them. So if you make a foul like that, it's going to be enforced every time.
You know, see, I don't think many people would disagree with the stance that it's a very important objective to make sure everything is done to limit any sort of unnecessary contact. Boris Diaz checked in for the Spurs. Parker against Hill. Hibbert with a screen on Parker. Good. Hill's got it all tied up now for the Pacers.
Guys, they've had a solid start to the second half offensively. Got good looks, and they've made 3 out of 4 of them.
Well, last season the fans in Indiana finally came back in bunches to support their hometown Pacers. They're in the top 10 in attendance, up from 25th in 2013.
Outside for George. 6 on the shot clock. And Leonard with the block. Green inside the three-point line. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Green's got his second basket. Well, Clark, you look at the low attendance numbers for the Pacers in years past, from 2007 to 2012. They averaged the second worst in the league. I think that surprised a lot of people.
It really did. It surprised me and the rest of the organization as well. Yet that corresponds with the seasons that the Pacers actually dipped below 500, and there wasn't a lot of promise on the horizon. With the Pacers winning now, and from what I hear, the TV ratings are also over double. Actually, I know the TV ratings for that team have doubled up since 2012, so things are headed in the right direction now.
And the Spurs making a change here. Baines is checked in. Nobody near George. Drains the three-pointer. George has got 5 points now this quarter.
This guy is simply having a great game from outside.
Charity stripe shot. Hibbert pulls it in. Hibbert's got his 6th rebound on the night. George, that's a 2-pointer. And he hits the jump shot. George has got 26.
He's having quite the quarter here, guys. I mean, shooting the ball extremely well. Tell you what, he can be really frustrating as a shooter. All you can do is grimace because you just can't find the range.
Over to the wing. Indiana moving the ball around. Hill, no good.
They've been strong on the boards. There's no disputing that.
That's what the box score says. Still anybody's game, though.
You know, for a guy his size, he doesn't play above the rim very often like he did on that slam.
Still got some power behind him, though.
Yeah, when you let him get in close like that, he'll throw one down hard on you.
George double teamed for the lead. And then Hibbert with the dunk.
Well, I tell you, that's outstanding determination to track that rebound down and fight his way to the bucket for the throwdown.
Clark, that is the effort they're going to need for the rest of this game.
And not just on the offensive glass, Kevin, but all over the floor.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. From deep, George. And Baines pulls it down. Baines has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession.
Now, a severe lack of awareness on his part. He had no idea he was near the out-of-bounds line.
Stuckey drives inside. It's good, and Watson picking up the assist.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. Pacers lead by 2. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the 4th quarter. San Antonio trailing here. Watson out there with Rodney Stuckey. Then there's Hill. Then it's Scola. And it's Mahinmi in at the 5 down low. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Bellinelli's gone 1 for 5 from the field, 20%.
This has been a terrific contest up to this point, and I would guess it's going to stay this way all the way to the end. Great matchup.
Probably so. Neither team wants to give an inch.
Now here is Hill. Watson for 3. And the rebound goes to Duncan. It's tipped. Spurs trail by 4. Bellinelli for 3. Baines passes to Bellinelli. Connects from 3-point range.
Tell you what, they're going to have a hard time climbing back into the game if they're going to continue to play defense like that.
Watson for 3. They get it again.
What determination. There was a lot of competition for that rebound, and he came away with it.
Time running low, guys, and somebody has got to win this one.
You know, quite honestly, Kevin and Steve, I mean, this game, as close as it's been, you really hate to see it come to an end.
I agree.
Well, then let's root for overtime. Why not?
And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play. Tim Duncan picks one up. And some changes here for the Pacers. David West, he's checked in for Scola. Paul George comes in for Hill. And George Hills subbed in for C.J. Watson. And that one's good. Harker.
This guy's really flowing with his stroke right now. He hit one earlier, and now he has 3 in this half.
Leonard brings the double team. Out to Stuckey. The shot by George, wide open. A second chance effort. San Antonio with the rebound. Ginobili gets a wide open look. And it's off from 3-point range. Moving it up. Here's Mahinmi. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
And at this stage of the game, that offensive rebound and putback is enormous. I mean, that feels like a 4-point swing.
There's 6 points on consecutive 3 balls. They're finding holes in this defense.
It should be easy to correct, though, if you start making the right rotation.